Caracas, Barquisimeto, Venezuela, Reuters. Venezuela's leftist leader, Nicolas Maduro, looked set to win re-election on Sunday in what looked to be a poorly attended vote condemned by foes as the coronation of a dictator and likely to bring new foreign sanctions. Despite his unpopularity over the OPEC members' economic meltdown, the 55-year-old former bus driver was benefiting from a boycott by the mainstream opposition, a ban on his two most popular rivals, and state institutions in loyalists' hands. The vote could trigger additional sanctions from the United States and more censure from the European Union and Latin America. The Trump administration said it would not recognize the sham election and was considering oil sanctions. Maduro, the self-described son of former President Hugo Chavez, says he is battling an imperialist plot to crush socialism and take over Venezuela's oil. Opponents say he has destroyed a once wealthy economy and ruthlessly crushed dissent. Maduro's main challenger is a former state governor, Henri Falcon, who predicted an upset because of fury among Venezuela's 30 million people at their increased poverty. Although some opinion polls have shown Falcon ahead, analysts say his chances are thin, given widespread abstention, the vote-winning power of state handouts and Maduro's allies on the election board. In polling stations visited by Reuters reporters, from wealthy East Caracas to the Andean mountains near Colombia, attendance appeared far lower than at the last presidential election in 2013 when there was an 80% turnout. An opposition umbrella movement called the Broad Front, which was boycotting the vote, said on Sunday evening that turnout had been under 30%, according to its monitors across the nation. In what it termed an electoral farce. There were lines, however, outside some polling stations in poorer government strongholds, where the majority of voters interviewed said they were backing Maduro. "I'm hungry and don't have a job, but I'm sticking to Maduro," said Carlos Rincones, 49, in the once thriving industrial city of Valencia, accusing right-wing business owners of purposefully hiding food and hiking prices. The government has set up so-called red point zones near polling stations so Venezuelans can scan their state-issued fatherland cards, used to receive benefits including food boxes and money transfers. Maduro has promised a prize to those who do so. Critics say that is a way of scaring impoverished Venezuelans into supporting his government. Falcon's team said it received about 900 complaints about the red points. Several state workers also told Reuters they were pressured to vote, while pro-government activists hovered around some polling stations, saying they were assisting voters. Further hurting Falcon's chances by splitting the anti-Maduro vote was a third candidate, evangelical pastor Javier Bertucci, who has picked up a large following, partly because of free soup handouts. 5-year recession. Many Venezuelans are disillusioned and angry over the election. They criticize Maduro for economic hardships and the opposition for its dysfunctional splits. Reeling from a 5th year of recession, falling oil production and U.S. sanctions, Venezuela is seeing growing levels of malnutrition and hyperinflation, and mass emigration. A woman stands by a mural in support of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro during the presidential election in Caracas, Venezuela, May 20, 2018. Reuters, Adriana Loureiro, "I think this constant aggression from the government of the Ku Klux Klan is losing credibility," Maduro said on Sunday, blaming U.S. President Donald Trump for Venezuela's mess. Venezuelan migrants staged small anti-Maduro protests in cities from Madrid to Miami. In the highland city of San Cristobal near Colombia, 3 cloth dolls representing widely loathed officials, Electoral Council head Tibisay Lucena, Socialist Party No. 2 Diosdado Cabullo and Vice President Tarek El Aissami, were hung from a footbridge. But streets were calm, with children playing soccer on one road in San Cristobal blocked off at past elections to accommodate long voter lines. For many Venezuelans, Sunday was a day to look for scant food or stock up on water, which is increasingly running short because of years of underinvestment. "I'm not voting. What's the point if we already know the result? I prefer to come here to get water rather than waste my time," said Raul Sanchez, filling a jug from a tap by a busy road in the arid northwestern city of Punto Fijo because his community has not had running water for 26 days. In what the opposition said was a bid to legitimize Maduro's coming victory, state television urged Venezuelans to vote, and Maduro said that transport to polling centers would be facilitated. Some opposition supporters say the boycott only made life easier for Maduro and that his rivals should have fought him at the ballot box despite an unfair playing ground. "I'm voting because the opposition doesn't have any proposals for what we're going to do when Maduro wins today. I want this nightmare to stop," said teacher Luisa Marquez, 56, in Valencia. Should Maduro win, he may choose to deepen a purge of critics within the ruling Chavismo movement. Abroad, Maduro is likely to face further Western and Latin American protests should he win, although Russia and China remain allies and have been important financial backers. Slideshow. 32 images. Chilean President Sebastián Piñera said on Sunday the elections did not fulfill the minimum standards of a true democracy, and that Chile did not recognize them as legitimate. Maduro faces a Herculean task to turn around the moribund economy, with the Bolivar currency down 99% in the past year and inflation at an annual 14,000%, according to the National Assembly. Reuters. Venezuela election coverage on Twitter at Reuters. Villa, reporting by Vivian Sequeira in Caracas and Karina Ponce in Barquisimeto, Venezuela. Additional reporting by Angie Polanco and Brian Ellsworth in San Cristobal, Luke Cohen, Leon Wheatfeld, Pablo Garibian, Andreina Aponchi and Andrew Cawthorne in Caracas, Mirsley Guanipa. In Punto Fijo, Tibisay Romero in Valencia, Francisco Aguilar in Barinas, Maria Ramirez in Ciudad Guayana, Isaac Arusha in Maracaibo and Caroline Stauffer and Hugh Bronstein in Buenos Aires, writing by Alexandra Ulmer and Andrew Cawthorne, editing by Lisa Shoemaker and Peter Cunior. Standards. The Thomson Reuters Trust Principles.